Welcome back. So today we're going to talk about something fascinating, how a single ancient victory song literally forged an entire nation. Seriously, we're going to unpack how this one piece of music became a mission statement, defining who a people were, what their purpose was, and, well, their entire future.
Okay, so let's start with this big question. How does a group of scattered people actually become a nation? It's a huge question. And the answer, a lot of the time, isn't really about borders or governments. It's about a shared story. It all kicks off with a foundational narrative that answers those super basic questions. Who are we? And what are we even here for?
And you see this all over the place, right? Modern nations, they have constitutions, they have national anthems that spell out their core beliefs. Heck, even companies have mission statements. What are all these things? They're all trying to answer the same questions. Who are we, and what do we stand for? They're the blueprint for a shared future.
Well, we find this incredible, ancient example of this exact thing in the book of Exodus. And it happens right at the most pivotal moment in the history of the Israelites. This is a moment that's going to define them forever.
So, picture this. They've just pulled off this miraculous escape through the Red Sea. Generations of slavery in Egypt are behind them. They are free. But as they're standing there on the shore, watching their pursuers get swallowed by the sea, they have this massive identity crisis. They know exactly what they've been saved from, but they have no idea what they've been saved for.
And their answer, their new national charter, really, comes in the form of a song. But this isn't just some, spontaneous victory cheer. No, this is a carefully crafted declaration. It's a text that takes this event, gives it meaning, and basically sets the course for their entire future as a people. So what does this song actually say? Well, the first thing it does is define their God. And it doesn't do it with some abstract philosophy. Nope. It does it with concrete, undeniable action.
Just look at the contrast here. The song doesn't kick off with these, lofty philosophical ideas like God is all-powerful. Instead, it points to something real, something tangible that just happened. The horse and his rider he has thrown into the sea.
So here's the crucial point. This song establishes a God who isn't some theory you debate in a classroom. He's a force you witness in the real world. This is a God who reveals himself through what he does, right in the grit and grime of human history.
Okay, but it gets even deeper. The song frames this whole military escape using the language and the themes of the creation of the entire universe. It's connecting this moment of salvation all the way back to the beginning of everything. And the imagery here is just so powerful. See, in the ancient world, chaotic water pretty much represented the forces of anti-creation, of undoing the world. So when the song describes God parting the sea, it is deliberately echoing the Genesis creation story, where God separated the waters to bring order to the whole universe.
And this just brilliantly illustrates the parallel they're drawing. In both stories, you start with a state of chaos, either this watery darkness or brutal slavery, then, bam, divine action pushes back that chaos and creates order. And what's the result? A new stable reality. First, it was a world people could live in, and now it's a redeemed people. This isn't just a military win, it's being framed as a world-making creative event.
All right, so if this escape was like a whole new act of creation for this people, what was the point of it all? The song makes it super clear that just being free from Egypt was never the end game.
Yeah, towards the end of the song, the whole focus shifts. It moves from the past, what God did at the sea, to the future, and it spells out the destination. The goal wasn't just to leave Egypt, but to be brought to a very specific place, a sanctuary, a place where God himself would dwell right there with them.
So you see, freedom wasn't the end goal. It was the crucial first step to getting to their new shared purpose. The ultimate point was to become a people whose entire existence, their laws, their culture, their whole identity was built around their relationship with their Creator.
Okay, so let's bring this all home. This one song, sung right there on the shores of the Red Sea, gave them the complete blueprint for a nation's future. It's incredible. Think about it. This one story became their constitution, their Declaration of Independence, and their national anthem all rolled into one. It answered everything. Who is our God? A God who acts in history. Who are we? A people redeemed by that God. What's our purpose? To be a community that worships. How should we live? Centered on our Creator. This set the course for thousands of years.
And really, the big takeaway here is the incredible power of a foundational story. For a nation, for a company, even for you as an individual, the story we tell about the biggest moments of our past, well, it doesn't just explain where we came from, it literally sets the path for everything that comes next.
And that brings me to a final thought, a question for you. What are the core stories that define your life? You know, what are the great escapes, the defining moments, the Red Sea crossings that have shaped who you are today and where you're headed tomorrow?